There we go. All right. Well, Father, we just come before you, Lord, and ask for your hand and your touch, Lord, in each and every one of our lives. Um, Specifically, right now, God, I ask for just your loving arms around Darla, that she knows that she's not trying to do this all alone, that you're right there with her. Um, you give her peace within her, uh, anxiety, and just all of the things, all the pressure that she's feeling with the being a caregiver and trying to run her business and all of those things. God, I ask that you give each and every one of us focus, Lord, for the next 52 days that are left in 2020, that we finish this year strong. We know it has been one crazy year. And just ask you to bring us peace about it. We know, God, it didn't take you by surprise, but just that you would help us to move forward and help us keep things in perspective, God. Like, help us see you in the world around us. And God, I ask for a physical healing touch in Karen's body, Lord, that the arthritis pain is taken care of, not just with this steroid shot. I know that will help, but just with your touch, God, just, just let it go away. Let me just say that. We'll just say, let it go away, God. And I pray too for Barb, Lord, that you would just bless her and keep her and move us all forward as we go, God. Right now, it just feels like the world, or at least our country, is taking a big breath in, and regardless of anything else, just let us focus on you, right? Keep you first. And if we keep our eyes on Jesus, like nothing else gets to take over that top spot. And so we just ask for that focus as well, Lord. I ask for your blessing for our time together here today, God, that you would have us hear and see what you would like us to hear and see, God, that your will be done in our lives. We love you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Yeah.
Ah, that was a long prayer. Sorry.
Okay, we needed it.
We did it. I mean, I don't know. I was just sitting there praying and I'm thinking, God, this just feels like this refreshing, like wave of washing over. Not that I'm like, not coming out of it like raring to go, but just coming out of it like sitting in God's peace. And so I love that about him. Anyway, and in the midst of our crazy, he's like, you just have one thing to focus on, and it's him. So anyway, yeah. Anyway,
there's been no better place than the throne room of God.
Yes. Okay. Barb, I'm gonna look back at the steps that we talked about on our planning call and just sort of see where you are on them. And then we'll just go from there. So I'm gonna make myself a little note here. Okay. So you said you were gonna try and pick a date, or for your podcast, you were gonna decide on a platform, start recording, look at finding guests. Where are you in all of that at the moment?
Well,
same spot.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for the music from my son. And so I think I just need to ask him if he wants to do it, and if he does, because I've been praying that God would send him the music, and that he would be, that my son would be receptive to it. But he went hunting, and then they got sick, and so yeah. I think there's some thwarting going on. So I just need to get with him and see if he still wants to do that. I did order my teleprompter that I've been wanting to use. So I am, nice. That should be delivered today. And I got a new microphone.
Oh,
Woo, look at that. So I just need to figure it out and see
Okay.
how well it works. But I've been going through content in my mind, but I haven't gotten most of it down on paper. I have some bullet points, but I don't have a lot of content,
Okay.
solid content down. So I need to work on that. And assuming that that's not going to get done today.
Right.
Um,
And are
but-
you gonna record, a chunk of episodes and upload a chunk of them all at once, or are you gonna just do one? You know what I mean?
Well, I also need to do my Soul Spa content stuff too, which I was starting to work on. And so those I want to release more often. But the podcast, I think my idea is to do one a week, and I can pre-record them because I'll have to edit them.
Right.
And so my first one, I changed my mind. I was gonna have my best friend on with me,
Mhm.
but I think what I'm gonna do is just make my very first one establish what it's all about.
Okay.
And so it'll be just me talking, probably not for a whole lot of time. And it will be, just here's the whole purpose. This is why I'm here. This is how I want to serve you, that kind of thing. And, just take it from there. And so that'll be my first episode. And then, I'll introduce the next one. But I also I need to get my Soul Spa stuff, where I talk about, the first, that were 3 parts, and I need to get those online before everybody leaves Facebook.
Yeah.
And, get those prepped because I have a go day of December 5th for
Okay.
my Soul Spa workshop. So
That was
I
my
gotta
next question. If you set that on the calendar, so yay.
yeah, I gotta get ladies signed up so that I can get their information and package to them. So gotta get that done.
Perfect. Yep. Good. All right. And Karen, nope, that was the other Karen. You weren't here. Were you not here last at the planning day, Karen? I don't remember.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay.
I missed one because I was doing that class.
Yeah. Okay, so how is the everything going with your ladies from church?
Well, the one is just really supporting me and just really, talking to everybody about you mean the mentor group?
Yeah, but either we can talk about whichever one you want. It's fine.
Okay, I'd rather talk about the support.
Okay.
Because the mentor group, they're kind of disintegrating. I'm chasing them,
Okay.
and I'm not going to chase them.
Right.
So that's where we are with that.
Okay.
I'm open, but I'm not chasing. But the other one, because she came to my class and she's just really saying nice things about the class and about me. I'm getting more people buying this book that I wrote in 2017 at church. A lot of people buying that, and well, not a lot, but 10, 15, that's better than nothing at all.
No, it's good.
And I would like to even do a class from that, although I don't know how that would happen, but that would be nice. I finished, and I did a Google form, and with an evaluation, I got to check their responses. And so they were asking me when I was going to give it again and waiting for the next class. I was thinking I might give it again in January because it's got that kind of flavor for starting new. Yeah, so there's that.
Okay, very good.
And I did get actually a strategy call out of it, or a
discovery. Oh, good. How did that go?
Well, it went well, but I didn't make a sale.
Okay. I've been working on that a little bit too, so maybe we'll chat at some point and I have like a little tiny like script you can kind of use.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. Cause I
Yeah.
was like, I was thinking, I was trying to ask questions, but she kind of veered in another direction. It's like, well, I kind of stumbled around a little bit in the middle, but I got
Yeah.
comfortable after I realized where she wanted to go.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay, Lou, how about you? How's
I didn't come to your planning day. I'm so sorry.
that's okay.
about that. And I'm just right now, I'm kind of like resetting after 2 really big papers were due. And so it kind of just took me off course. And now I'm like, okay, it's time. So I have one more client that I've got, but now I'm like, I gotta start hustling a little bit, which I don't like to do, but I'm not good at like just putting, come work with me, you know what I mean, out there. So I'm trying to work on how do I do that in my own way that doesn't make me feel like I'm not me, but it's effective.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's like because your process is very similar to like that discovery call. And for me, it's like leads into a business intensive. For you, it leads into the culture conversation. And for Karen, it leads into like a first coaching call,
right,
kind of thing. And so maybe if we have time today, I'll pull up that discovery call sheet that I have that allowed me to book a client straight up. In fact, in a way that was just like, okay, I'm gonna charge this. Like I made it up on top of my head because I was like, I hadn't done that specific piece before.
Yeah.
So
but that's
so
kind
that
of
was
the big
good.
thing, is really just kind of build a few more, and then in the back side is building artwork and messaging. So that I had kind of put that to the side, but I have a bunch of notes. So I just have to kind of pull all of my notes. I mean, they're all in one place. I just got to like execute those ideas.
Okay. And when you're saying hustling, are you talking about school or are you talking about both?
Say it again.
Or when you said I got to start hustling, and I don't really like to. Are you talking about school
hustling,
or your business?
No.
Both?
Selling my business, like really working my business. You know what I mean? I'm not good at. I don't like selling. I like telling people stories, and if you want to come on a journey, let's go. But I'm not a for $9.99, and I'll add, and you can get, and wait, but there's more.
But wait, there's more.
So, I mean, I am when I'm joking about it, but I'm not when I mean it, when I need to do it. So I just have to figure out what's the, I'm learning as I go too. So,
well, and I have my discovery call stuff set up in Dubsado. And the beautiful thing, so Dubsado is a workflow management thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
So far, I'm only on the free plan. I think once you get above a certain number of people, then you pay for it. But once you get above a certain, so I'm thinking, anyway, so I will do, let me think about when I can do this. I don't know if I can do it before December, but I would love to do like a little Dubsado training for anybody who wants to set up in it. So basically what happens is I have a link that I can send to people that just lets them book that 20-minute discovery call. And on that 20-minute discovery call, it's literally like, so tell me, you asked them a couple questions already, which is like a little bit about their business, but then you ask them just to talk to you about it for a minute. And then it's just a conversation, right? Like what, if you could fix the one thing right now, what would that be for you? And just, again, you're just sort of letting them talk. And at the end of it, it's like, okay, I have this product that addresses that. For me, it's a business intensive. right? Like I
Mhm.
have this business intensive you can sign up for, and this is what it does. And I
Mhm.
just, it's 2 hours one-on-one. You're going to give me all the links to your stuff ahead of time. I'm going to go do a deep dive into your business, and look at all the things. And then we'll have our 2-hour conversation. And then after that, I'm going to put together and so you have that whole process, Lou, all set
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And Karen, you can have the same thing. We'll have to think through like those
Mhm.
steps a little bit, but and you too, Barb, if you wanted to do, something like more hands-on like that. I just know both of theirs are. And then it's just like, does that sound like something,
Yeah.
that would help you? So it's
Yeah.
not a hard sell at all, which I love.
Right.
Yeah. Cause it's just like, if that sounds like something that would help you, I would love to do that with you. And then, and like, you're pretty straight up front. Like, this is what I charge for that. And explain to them too, that the process is more than the 2-hour conversation. Like I'm not charging you,
This is like 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours of work
exactly.
when you add the whole thing up. Yeah.
When
So
you
it's
add the whole thing up. And
Mhm.
then after that, you can, so Lou, I think what the other thing to think about for you is if you want to do something on the back end of yours when they're done with the whole culture assessment, like some culture coaching or, like something
Yeah.
continuing and ongoing.
Yeah. And right now that's not what I mean. I could do it with like companies, it's easier to do that with because there's like these stages, right? But with entrepreneurs, what I'm finding is they're gonna do so much, but then they're not gonna they won't finish it. They're not finishing
Right.
it.
But that's okay, because that's what the
for.
coaching call is for.
Yeah.
The reason they're not like the reason I haven't written my mission statement yet is because I'm not meeting with you again to tell you what my mission statement is.
Right. Okay, I'll send you a note. I'll send you a time when you're available.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's just like this thing, and then you
No,
need to
it's an
charge
account. It's
more.
like someone needing, like, you got a deadline. You know what I mean? And so that's. But I learned that was why I did the beta, because I realized now I'm like,
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh my goodness.
That's why you say that again. That's why I did the beta.
yeah. So I could figure out like what's reasonable to get done in this, and what's not reasonable.
Yeah.
And then what do I need to do after the fact? So.
Yep.
Excuse me, my daughter was texting me and she never does. So I'm like, what, is everything okay? And every time I turn it on, my speaker is on Facebook. It's
she knows you're on a meeting, right? Like it's like that sixth sense, like when they were little and you got on the phone.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. So I can, I will upload like the beginning of that, like that discovery call piece and stuff into the group, just so you kind of see how it is and how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you guys want, if you like look at Dubsado and if you decide it's something you want to set up, I sat down with somebody and set it up and made a huge difference. It takes a long time to get it all sort of organized and set up. I will show you real quick. Let me pull mine up.
Is it what do you call it? I can't remember the acronym. Client relation,
Kind of, yes, for service
CRM.
providers, and or like coaches, anything that has that ongoing sort of piece. It's not good for like course creation and that kind of stuff. I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see it.
So it's not anything like Trello or something, right?
It's not like Trello. Trello is really good for organizing your own sort of stuff. I was just looking at Trello again this morning with some stuff I was doing. But so all of these templates here. So here's a 30-minute client call. Here's the discovery call.
Mm-hmm.
So if I click on that, like this is the times that they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a link right here,
Mhm.
right? So when they click on that link, let me just pull up what that does so you can see it. Right, it gets them to the calendar so they can pick a time, and then it
Right.
automatically sends the time with me, and then there'll be like 3 questions they can answer afterwards, and
Mhm.
those are down here in forms. Where is
Okay.
it? But anyway, so here's questions for like what they have to answer before they get on the call with me,
Oh, that's good. So
right?
it really helps prep. Yeah.
Yeah. So links to all their stuff, links to social media, Facebook groups, any pages, free offers, your email list. What's that look like? What do
Mhm.
your clients typically find out? There's some financial stuff in here. So current offers, are they bringing in money? How much do you bring in each month and what do you want to like? And those are just like ballpark things, right?
Mhm.
What softwares, what systems are you using? What softwares are you using? Do you have any? Do you have a bookkeeper, accountant, right? And then sales funnels. I don't know why it's not scrolling down further, but anyway. So sales, like what sales funnels do they have, if any? Just all the stuff I need to go research their
Right.
stuff.
Yep.
And then, and then there's places, let me look for workflows here. Okay, yeah, settle mind. I'm looking for my workflows. Right here, workflows. So I have a coaching one and I have this business intensive one. So this is everything that happens right after we've done a discovery call and they said yes. I send them by email the link to schedule the appointment. And then as soon as we schedule that and it's approved, then they get the scheduler for the follow-up call, that pre-intensive questionnaire we were just looking at. And then nothing else happens and like until so where these say approve, like the next thing doesn't get to happen until I hit approve on those.
Gotcha.
So that I make sure I get this before. So I have to have enough time to go in and do the deep dive into their company. And with each of these, there's like, I'm gonna stop sharing now. Each of those, there is emails connected and invoices connected and a contract connected so that you keep a digital contract like on there, which is super nice to have.
Do you do contracts with like all of your clients or just certain types?
I think just the like one-on-one coaching and the business intensive kind of people. Yeah. So like, if they're doing courses or membership or whatever, then I don't need a contract. I mean, the contract is X amount a month unless you cancel.
Yeah.
Well, yes, until. Yeah. So, but for the bigger, those, like, I think yours needs a contract, Lou.
You do?
I do.
Okay.
Just because so, I mean, it hasn't happened yet because of your beta, but people will sign up and then they won't do the work, right?
Right.
And you can't do yours and then they'll want a refund. And it's like, you haven't done I need you to do the work. So that's where your contract sort of comes in.
Okay.
And at some point you might be like, oh, it's just easier to refund them and move on. Like you don't want, sometimes it occurs that you don't want to work with them after all.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
that's interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I never thought about having such a system set up for everything, but it really does help you manage all the balls in the air,
Yeah, and it connects to one main, like I have it connected to my one main Google Calendar. So I set up in each of the schedulers, I can set up the times I want. Like I don't want to do the actual 2-hour business intensive on Mondays. Like, that's probably not the best day for me to do that. And I don't want to schedule any of them on Fridays. So you can set up like when you want to be available for those.
Yeah.
And then as it fills in, it'll put it on your Google Calendar. It'll mark you as busy. You can add stuff to your Google Calendar that'll then take the availability out of Dubsado.
Right.
Yeah, and it just lets it all, that way you hopefully don't get double booked somehow and all that.
Yeah.
So that's
good.
actually been a slight learning curve for me, is making sure I put it all of the times I want to be busy according to Dubsado in my correct calendar.
Okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's a good system. Okay, is there anything else? Any other questions you have about that from any of you? And then is there anything you want the collective wisdom of the group on?
That helped me a lot, actually, to kind of think, just to come from a space of organizing. Because, yeah. And then you put that on your website, talk to me. That's your button that says schedule time with me, right?
Schedule
Okay.
a time with me. It's just that 20-minute discovery call. I have one this afternoon at 2, and I have one on Wednesday morning. And so the only point of that little discovery call, let me pull up I remember where I have it. I think it's over here. Nope. I have a Google Sheet somewhere that has those couple of things. It has all of those like templates in it for what I put in there. But the nope, that's not it. I think it's in a different drive. Anyway, I'll just see if I can find it real quick. I know I can post it in the. Yeah, it's not there. I will find it and I'll post it in the group. But it really is just a quick 20-minute conversation that is very low pressure, but it's just very much like, oh, I have a system, that does that. Like for you, Lou, you'll already have been talking about culture and like whatever that messaging is. And so once they contact you, they're like if I'm talking, about offer strategy, when they contact me, they're going to be like, I want to get, my $27 self-liquidating offer out the door. Okay. Now, I have a product that does that. This is how it works. And then you just tell them how it works. And if it, and I charge this much for it.
Yeah.
Right. Like whatever that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
That's good. Yeah, I just need to, and I think it's like getting a big map. I'm like ready to take a whiteboard and cover my window, because I just need like a vision board of like all the pieces, because right now they're in notebooks, which is fine, but I'm one of those people that has to have like, I need to see the whole world. I need the whole map of the whole amusement park. So I can see, like otherwise it's been interesting trying to shift work, because in my old office I had a huge whiteboard that was just the universe, so I think what comes first, what's logical, and so it sort of started just like fast. And now it's like, okay, you've got a product that's easy, but then, how do I automate that part so that I can create other things that actually bring in more revenue?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think, well, you're going to start charging more, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I started
And, I mean,
keeping
so Barb, I was very in love with your podcast microphone because everyone is telling me that I need to do a podcast because I'm a storyteller. And so I'm really thinking about like that, but I'm like, what do I lead them to? What does the podcast lead to? And that's the trail and the path and all the things I have to build, and what's like urgent, what's easy, what's low hanging, and then what's more complicated.
Yeah.
After I plug
go
it in,
ahead.
I can let you know how it is. If I like it or not. I haven't tried it yet. It was only like $30 on Amazon.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I listened to I don't know if you listen to podcasts now, but I listened to a really interesting short podcast with Jasmine Star. And she was interviewing, I cannot remember the guy's name, but he's the famous podcaster guy. And it is I'll send a link. I'll send a link here in the chat here so you guys have it. But he just talked about how easy it was to do and how the people don't read a blog for if it's longer than so long, right? And they're not going to watch your video if it's longer than 4 minutes, right? So as much fabulous things like and the reason people listen to podcasts is because they don't have to be locked in front of a screen to listen to it. So they can do it when they're walking, commuting, cleaning the house, exercising, all right, whatever. And then he said, but the beautiful thing is it's there with them intimately, for 20 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, something like that. And I thought, for me, I think that was a better platform for me than just making videos. And I mean, I can do a couple of videos to teach something. And he even said that, have the videos to teach the concept really fast, and the podcast for the longer stories. So, but he talked about equipment, and he said for $100 you can get it all. You can get the platform and the microphone and if you've got a little MacBook Pro, you can do all the editing. It's already like a basic feature on the Mac of combining and splicing sound bites. So I was very encouraged by that. So
Very good.
Yeah.
Maybe as you guys look at platforms too, you can collaborate together since you'll both be researching kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
And so one of the things I started doing is the sketch pad right here. And I just leave it right here next to me by my desk. Yes, exactly. Because I can write on it, like whatever happens to come to mind in all kinds of random directions. Who knows? I can doodle on it, whatever. It's like right here next to me. And the paper's thick enough, I won't lose any of it, right?
Right.
Which
I have
is
way too many like ideas. Yeah.
I had even
I just like
questions. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I had
You
even
what?
written questions I wanted to ask on the discovery call, although I didn't really use them, but I couldn't find them. It's like, oh my God, where'd I put them? They were downstairs next to my meditation chair. It's like, dang, but I didn't use them anyway. But it'd been nice to know where they were. And I was freaking out.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So now there's only two places that like everything goes right on this or right on my computer. That's it.
Yeah.
Like and my computer's searchable, but for all the random thoughts, this is a good like piece for me to keep so that as I'm like, they don't have to interrupt what I'm already doing. I can just be like, oh yeah, and write it down real quick and then go back to what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm a sketch pad girl, and they have no lines, so I do not feel constrained.
Yeah.
The creative girl problem.
Well, and I write this way and then I turn it and it's written, there's like stuff written all directions on it. in circles, whatever.
Heather
Because it is-
is my like soul sister. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Down to the sketchbooks. That's funny.
yeah.
Funny.
That sure
Um,
beat Post-it notes for sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
I have them all over.
Like,
Post-it
I
notes
like
a lot.
I have these little tiny post-its, but honestly, they're just colored so that I know, like this right here.
Oh
right?
yeah, that's okay.
These little tiny ones. They're just colors so that I like, okay, I'm doing something on this day.
Yeah.
So that
That's
I have
funny.
like this like big picture.
So
yeah.
the post-it notes are funny because the post-it notes, they start out so innocently, like, oh, I'll just write this one little thing. And then suddenly it's like another page, another page, another page. You've got this like long.
And pretty soon they're like I used to stick them to my computer screen, right? And pretty soon they're like lined across the bottom of my computer screen.
Yeah.
And only half of them were continued to be relevant.
Yeah.
I like them when I'm doing very specific planning.
Yeah.
I do like post-it notes for this. Like
Yeah.
as I write all the things on a post, because I can move them around. So like when I'm looking at the entire year and I'm like, what are all the things I want to do? Just write them down. And then I can be like, yeah, that looks good. Or I can move them.
Yeah.
And then after that, I want to like transfer it somewhere else if
Yeah.
it's not, and throw all the post-its away.
Yeah.
That's what I have to do.
I had one of my bosses come. Oh, go ahead, Karen. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna talk about the post-it notes. I was doing the class, and so I write a little something that, oh, I forgot, So I have so many.
It's your like micro notebook.
But I'm gonna have to create a document
Yeah.
that says all the steps I did. So next time
Okay.
I do it, I won't have to reinvent the wheel. I can go
Yeah.
somewhere and get
That's
started.
funny.
So Karen, is there anything you would like the collective wisdom of the group on, since you're already unmuted?
I just have so many things that I'm thinking about doing. I don't know what direction to go in, but something that was said about I like this, oh geez. It's like a mapping. It was a free mapping thing, and I kind of liked it. So maybe I'll try that. It was something that Lou said.
Was it mind mapping? The mind mapping?
Yeah.
Thing? Yeah, those are great. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I'll try that and help to get some organization and decide what I'm going to do. Because I got a lot of things and I don't know, if they're really going to pay off. So, but the object of most things eventually is trying to get discovery calls.
Right. Yeah, that's your main focus, right? Like that's the one thing. And so is there a way for them to schedule with you on your website, do you have, okay.
Well, actually it's not, it is on my website, but that's what she said she did, right? Somebody bought her a book of mine, that book, and sent it to her.
Okay. Oh,
And
very nice.
She was, we have some similarities. She was a widow, I was a widow. She really liked the book. And she said, well, is there anything else she does? So does she have any whatever? So she went and found something, and that's where it was a free acuity scheduler.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it sent a reminder because she seemed like she didn't know I was gonna call.
Oh.
So
okay.
I have to check that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's a bit.ly link. I created a bit link for it.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. And then how are you? I know you don't want to hear this, but because when you go live, you should be saying, like, that should be your call to action every single time, right? Because that's where you want people to go.
Yeah, my thing with live is content. I get all discombobulated and I can't quite know what I'm supposed to be trying to say, and there's this spiritual part of me. I used to minister. So that seems like
Mhm.
that seems like what I do all the time. And it's like, I'm trying to I just get confused about what I should be saying. So there you have it.
Okay.
So, and also something else I noticed is like one, two, three. I mean, I'm attracting people that's younger than 50. I was thinking 50 would be a good starting point. And so I wanted to talk about being mature, and you can still, just like the book says, there's more, you're not done yet. And just
Mhm.
encourage women to contribute. Man, I used your mission statement thing that we had to do. I used that in the class anyway.
Good.
But I I think I should talk about, that's my problem. I don't know what I should be talking about on Facebook Lives. So there you go. And I'll have to work that out, you guys. Sorry. So,
Okay.
but when I do, I will pitch that Bitly link.
So does anybody have input for Karen on content? Attracting your audience? Like, you said you're attracting people younger than 50.
But that was my intent, 50 plus.
Okay.
It's like, I feel like that's my target market because I'm mature and everything I've done late in life. So that's kind of, why I picked that. One thing I tried to do, and maybe I did a freebie, what do you call it? Yeah, just a document PDF about how to regain your power. And I think I forgot how many, 17. I don't know how many I had. I forgot now. But I was going to do a little Facebook Live on every one of those. But
Mhm.
I take too long. I'm like, I'm not a perfectionist, but it takes me too long to say a little something about it, bam, and get it over with. I make it a big deal. It ends up 20 minutes, and I treat it like I'm doing a message at church. I do research and make sure I'm saying something accurate, and now it feels stale, for me to start with that again. And then the climate has changed a little bit. We still need to regain our power from all this that's happening, but it just seems like now it's just stale. And I was sending them to my email list too.
Mhm.
So anyway, that's
But have you
what
I'm gonna be
good.
quiet for a minute. Sorry. Nope. I'm gonna be quiet for a minute. Um, I'm gonna let anybody else who might have some input.
Well, I was going to give you two pieces of advice. This is me. So, in my old world, I was like the coach that helped our executives give presentations and speeches and addresses. And if we had a conference, I helped them. I wrote their scripts and then I coached them through their scripts.
Mhm.
And I'm not a fan of Facebook Live unless we're like impeccable speakers, and we're not. Nobody is, like, unless you've been like trained. And so I am there. This is what I tell everyone: you do not get extra points for doing a Facebook Live versus posting a video. You get the same amount of points, right? You actually get less points if your Facebook Live is rambling and like meandering, and you're like, people have about 2 minutes. They have about 25 seconds to think, am I going to get some nuggets fast out of this, or is it going to ramble on? And and they don't finish. And you can look statistically at how many people shut the videos off before you even get to the point. So I will give you a little tip. Okay, so first things first, it goes in threes, just like church, right? You got three messages, right? You got 3 points that you got to make. You got to make a connection with them. You got to tell them what you're going to talk about. You can have an anecdotal story in the beginning, But then you have to, and for us, when we're trying to tell it, it feels like it's so sharp and harsh and direct, but people will love you for it because you're like, you got there to, and you can illustrate it in a story. It's just like church, you illustrate a little story. Why am I talking to you today? I want to talk to you about blah, blah, blah. Okay. And why is it important? Well, we need to know that as women. I'll say power. We need to regain our power. And like, how do we regain power? And then you can tell a story about a little power. And then you go, what was the moral of that? What was the lesson in that? Boom, boom, boom. Sally did boom, boom, boom. Right. Or, whatever. And they will. And the good thing is if you video it, you put it on your camera and you just video it. Every time you mess up and you're blah, 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 okay, start over, blah, blah. You get there and you get better. And it may take you 20 takes to get that video, but then you post a really good video and then people love you for a really good video. Okay. And people want to love you for a live video, but then they don't because they're like, bless her heart, she can't get to the point. And right. And so I had one of my chefs that he was giving a speech and he was trying to say it all and he had all his note cards and he had written it out. And I said, can I borrow your note cards for a minute? And he's like, yeah. And he had slides behind him, images behind him. And he was just fumbling between the slides and the notes. And they were the same story, right? The story, the slides, pictures match the story on the cards. So I said, can I borrow your cards for a minute? And so he's like, yeah. And I said, okay. And I just like walked off with him. He's like, where are you going? I'm like, tell the story of the slide, tell the story. And so the lesson was, I said, you already wrote this. You wrote all these cards. You wrote the cheat sheet for the test. Tear the cheat sheet up and tell the story of the test, right? And so that will be my advice to you is try. You don't have to do lives. Number one, I don't suggest lives because we get distracted by the way we look. We'll start be going like, oh, my hair's off, or my Heather knows. I mean, we get distracted, and it's like they don't care how your hair looks. They want to hear what you got to say. And so if you can just start practicing, and you said you have 17 points, is that what you said in your?
Something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think I've done
17. You'll be a pro by the end of that.
And I did one of them, and I ended up giving a handout. It took me 20 minutes. So it's like, you can't do that 17 times. And actually, it took me longer than that to kind of create my script. So, but I hear it and I appreciate it.
But if you do your script and you repeat it a few times and you just get to where you can tell that story without a note, or you can say, what's the most important thing I've got to convey to these people? Mm-hmm. It's not the long story. It's the 3 points that they need to make it easier. So that's what I would try. And it takes time. I say that. Like, I know how hard this is, like, but you can get there. And it feels like, gosh, but I had so much more to say. Well, then that's your invitation to come. If you want to know more about this, I can tell you about this for days. Schedule a call with me and we'll go deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that would be my advice.
Okay.
Because I always tell you don't get extra credit for lives versus standstill videos, Yeah.
I thought Facebook didn't like YouTube. That's what I was thinking. Or didn't like, what do you call it?
They don't like YouTube. Facebook does not like YouTube. Yeah. So just upload it natively into Facebook. So record it onto your, they do not. It's just, and it's just organic reach. I always think of Facebook like a jealous boyfriend, right? They want you to stay right there with them. They don't want you to send people off of their platform anywhere else. So it's not like they'll like ban you from, I mean, of course you can post YouTube links. People do it all the time, but they will not push your post in the algorithm. Like it'll get less organic reach.
But I'm not talking about a YouTube video. I'm talking about on my phone, shooting a video, loading it like I do a picture, and people like
that. You can totally do. Yep.
I'm glad we made that.
That's what I'm. Yeah. Now, once you shoot that video on your phone, and you post it direct into YouTube or into Facebook or Instagram or whatever,
Facebook.
now you can go take that same video because it's on your phone and load it on YouTube in your gallery and your, but they don't, because I'm like, we get my friends that do just post the straight videos, they get
Yeah,
lots
no,
of,
that's fine.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what Facebook wants you to do, is just post it directly to their
Raw.
platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And then it's fine.
Yep.
So,
And you just get better and like as you're presenting it, no one can see what's on the screen behind the camera, right? And you have your cheat sheet of 1, 2, 3, intro, story, Mary, and power, boom, 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 the 3 points, conclusion, maybe with a question to them. How are you going to get your power today? Or whatever.
That's good.
mm,
I'm just making it up, but I haven't seen your content, but that's kind of how, and they're just like, wow, that was good. This is sharp. This is direct. And we're like, no, there was so much more, but that's our perfectionism, as I haven't done anything yet. So
Yeah. And yeah, I try.
Karen, are you trying to hit all 17 points in your videos?
No,
or are you breaking them up?
One at a time. And
Okay.
I was just trying to have some kind of plan so I didn't have to think up something every day. So that's why I was like, okay, since I gave I think I had a landing page. So I had a landing page. So I got some people on my mailing list, and a landing page, and what do you call it? A freebie. I don't like that
Mhm.
name, but it's the only one I can think of.
A gift.
Mhm.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
gift. Yeah. So
That's what on the Maxwell team, that's what we say, instead of saying that we are going to give somebody
yeah.
an assessment or whatever, we're gifting them an assessment.
Yeah.
Mm.
Matter of fact, I think that's what I called it. I called it a gift because I felt like it was.
Yeah, because if you use the word free, it discounts it mentally. It discounts the value
Yeah.
of what you're gifting.
Yeah. And on my first one, I gave them another one. I gave them on Facebook. I said, you don't even have to have your email or nothing. Just here's something, a gift. That's why I called it a gift, because I didn't even get their email. But I really appreciate it. I'm going to use this immediately before I forget.
And then the next question I have for you, Karen, is you got their email and put them on your list. Have you emailed them?
Yeah, but I just emailed them the consecutive. That was my plan, just to do little videos and then talk about it and then put it in the email. A lot of them don't look at the email because I pretty much say it don't look at the video because I pretty much say what's in the video. So I can tell, a lot of them don't. And then I talk to them. I was like, what do you think? And some of them email me. Some of them I know because at church, other church I used to go to, they bought my book. That's how they got on my mailing list. My daughter was following me around. I would speak or something. My daughter said, so what's your email address? And so that's how they got on my email list. So it's not that many. But one girl came to the class. I didn't know her. She came from my email list.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, it's like this works. Even though I'm at the baby stage, No,
yeah, for sure. And then the other thing I wanted to mention for yours is it feels stale to you, but it's not to anybody else, just so you know.
Oh.
My husband, like on the worship team, right? So they'll practice and practice and practice. By the time they play the song for the congregation, they are sick of the song. Like, right? Yeah. I mean, they're just like, okay, are we doing this song again? Even if they love the song, but they've done it already, 50 times. And so this is content you have been sitting with and you have been milling around, but the people you're talking to haven't even thought about it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
They've had a glimpse, but it's not stale.
Wow, I'm encouraged. Okay. I needed this. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, Barb, how about you? Anything you want?
I don't know. I just need to get on the stick. I just need to get stuff going. And of course, I have to clean my house today because I didn't get it done yesterday because our water line broke.
Oh,
And then a toilet broke. And my husband's car's broke, or his truck,
Yeah.
his work truck. So I just need to do it. So if you guys don't see a video from me in the next, what is today, Monday?
I'm sick.
By Thursday or Friday, by
I
Friday.
can't go to school because
Go.
I'm sick.
Just go. By Friday, because he's off Wednesday again too. So that's another day that I won't get anything done. But hold me to account because I need to
Okay.
get it done.
I'll be
you know,
looking for one. And then go ahead, Karen.
I like was really busy, especially when my husband had the stroke and everything, and I was like going at a nice clip, and then my pace changed. I do recognize that even a half hour, if I sit and do anything, I pick it up, and I'm so glad I did that. And it's so everything counts. Any little half hour, it counts for real. And celebrate, appreciate that you did that. Even if it's a half hour and you get everything, or less, where you get everything set up so the next time you come to the desk, it's ready to start. And so I'm a big believer in that any time set aside for working on your business is good time, and pat yourself on the back for it and keep going. Even if
Yeah, I
it's
like
just
that.
your mic, that's part
Yeah.
of it.
I like everything counts. I was going to say something along the same lines, which is just do one thing each day, just one. So one will move you forward. And then like you did, you just set up some accountability. And then, did you create a battle cry when we did that before? Did you do that one?
Nevertheless.
Nevertheless, right? Yeah. So put it up somewhere.
Yeah.
When you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. Okay, nevertheless, I will.
I have a big window in front of me. I can write it on it with a dry erase marker.
Perfect. You're muted, Lou.
I'll do that instead of a whiteboard on my window. I'm so excited. I'm gonna take over my window. Thank you for that great. See, this is all meant to be. We were supposed to be here today, ladies.
Right?
All little nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
think
Lou said
I
she
have a
put in the
pink
chat.
dry erase marker, so that's awesome. I'll do it in pink.
Mhm. Perfect. You walk in and look at me like, I gotta do it. I gotta do something. Like it's just that little like thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I told you guys I spent one whole year just going, just do the dang thing. And then I do it. Like it's just like, okay. Oh, yeah. And did you see where Lou put in the chat? She said, if you know you only have 30 minutes, you'll be amazed at how much you can get done.
Yeah.
If you know you only have 30 minutes, it's like a Pomodoro session, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And you're like, okay,
That's
hold
what I
on.
thought when I
We're gonna-
read her.
Everybody get out. Turn off the phone. Get a gun. Yep.
Maybe even try it with a timer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. It helps you work faster. Okay. Anything else before we head out for the day and on our journeys? Next week is the Get Stuff Done Day. Which is super
Okay,
fun.
good.
And I'm going to try and post a bunch of stuff in the group this week, but I will post the discovery call
Okay.
script. It's not really a script, but it'll say like, follow with this. And yeah.
Yeah.
It's that getting some little micro commitments, right? Like,
I haven't been able to.
does that sound like it would work for you? Yeah. You know, like you're doing a little bit of that in between, but in a very conversational way. So.
That.
Yeah, I still try. I
Yeah.
still can't schedule. It still gives me an error. And I tried on a different
That's so odd.
Explorer or whatever instead of Google.
Okay.
I don't know.
Do you want to stay on for a minute and see if we can make it work?
Sure.
Up to you. Okay.
All right.
After I'll stop recording. Let me pray for us. Father, thank you. Thank you for all the little nuggets, Lord, from today. We just ask that you renew our passion, Lord, that we know this is work you have asked us to do. And so we work for you. And we love you. We praise you. Lord, I pray for each of these women that you go before them, make your face to shine upon them, and order their steps, God. Just allow us to shine the light of Jesus through us and continue to point to him. We love you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Bye, ladies.
All right. Bye.
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 I don't think I've met you, Lou.
Oh, I'm Lou.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
here.
supposed
I'm still here. I have it like a computer that doesn't like for some reason, but
Oh,
I have
yeah,
to plug
yeah.
it. Yeah, I'm new. I just joined like in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, thank you.
No.
We'll be together again. So
All
I'll see you
right.
next time.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.